Last spring, I was partway through a long-term subbing assignment. 9 weeks, 5 bio classes, and only one mission: cover plants and animals, when I had a revelation. What kind of a science teacher would I be if I didn't spice up the daily grind with some awesome hands-on laboratory experiences? Now, at that time, lab assignments were still a little scary for me. I'd never run a lab before. I was a guest at the school. I didn't know who to ask for supplies, and I was too poor to buy them, and I didn't know how to organize or run a lab with 30 kids in it, and I didn't even have lab space in some of my classrooms, and. Thankfully, I let Mrs. Turner, another biology teacher with whom I shared a classroom for part of the day, in on my dilemma. She said she'd help, and I accepted. Even with Katie Turner's help, would I be able to overcome my inner scaredy cat to assemble supplies, space, and a foolproof plan for coordinating plant day? Could I then come up with enough workable containers for them to take the growing plants home in? Yes! Yes, indeed! But I'm getting ahead of myself here. The first challenge I was to face involved assembling the supplies, the lab space, and a plan of attack for the day of planting. The supplies were easy enough. Mrs. Turner said she had a variety of herb seeds I could use, and enough soil for all of our students to plant the herbs in little newspaper cups that would be easy for them to make. But Mrs. Turner warned that she did not have enough newspaper for all of her students, much less mine. "No problem," said I, glad to contribute and put my ever-growing pile of Anchorage daily newspapers to good use. With Katie's encouragement and guidance, I also arranged to switch places with other teachers so I could be in lab-equipped classrooms all day on planting day. Not so hard when I have someone showing me the ropes, I thought. On planting day, I was a nervous wreck. A million things could have gone wrong. But did they? No. I had planned carefully, given them clear instructions, and they were ridiculously eager to do this thing right and see their plants do well. It was awesome. After planting day, we finished up our plant unit and moved on to animals. The weeks came and went. The students were thrilled to see their little babies thriving in the artificial sun and rain we gave them, but as the end of the school year approached, the question of the plant babies' fates loomed large. Where could they live now that they seemed to be outgrowing their newspaper cups? Who would care for them once everyone went home for the summer? Would they live or die? The students said they wanted to take their babies home, but no way did we have enough good pots to put the babies in, so we had to get inventive. 2-liter soda bottles were to be our salvation. By cutting the tops of the bottles off and inverting them into the bottom, we could instantly have spacious pots with fantastic drainage and a built-in self-watering system to boot. But who has hundreds of 2-liter bottles lying around, really? FYI, the Anchorage Recycling Center is happy to look the other way when you come empty out their bins for use in school projects. The kids thought it was a great idea, and repotting day was even more of a hit than planting day had been. I took about 25% of the plants home myself, and the kids took the rest. That was last spring, but students still come up to me in the hall and ask about their plants, which still brighten my living room, and tell me how amazed they were that their plants kept growing when they took them home. Since then, I've had the opportunity and pleasure of putting together dozens more enjoyable lab experiences. Sometimes I still hear a little voice in my head telling me that labs are too hard, too much work, too much time for not enough return. And then I do the lab because I know better, and it's awesome. I love it, the kids love it, and it's always real learning.